Hey loves! Today we're going to be testing out 7 new viral products and we're going to see if they're worth the virality because nowadays everything goes viral, but it doesn't always mean it's good. So grab a snack, get cozy, and let's get into it. So we're going to do base and lip products today. The eyes are done. If you're wondering, I have on the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 3 palette. I just have 2 of the brown transition colors in the crease, a little black for the shadow wing, and then when I'm done everything, I'm going to do a little inner corner pop with the 2 light shades. But this is still the go-to palette for me. I'm obsessed with it. And then the glitter is also from Patrick Ta. It's the eyeshadow duo in Still at the Club, and I have both of those shades on my lid. Now for primer, I have this new Watermelon Jelly Glow from Milk Makeup. There's a couple claims on this. It's a hydrating and brightening jelly serum stick that's gonna help dull dry skin and has a burst of hydration and powerful peptides for your bounciest, glowiest skin ever. Doesn't really smell like anything. This is what it looks like. It's just a big jelly stick. This kind of reminds me of the jelly blushes that they came out with. It really is like a jelly. Oh, it feels nice. It really is one of those things that feels so relaxing and nice. Something I do really like about Milk primers is that they are very lightweight. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of jelly on me. So you really don't need to apply as much as I did. The product just feels very nice on the skin. But if you do too much, or if you twist the product up a little bit too much, you're gonna have some of the chunks coming off. So just something to keep in mind. It's a nice product, to be honest, but I don't know if I can like say that this is gonna be like a new go-to. I think it's very satisfying to apply it, but when it comes down to it, I think that Milk has better primers. If I had to splurge on a Milk primer personally, I really like the Cloud Glow. So good, so lightweight, perfect under makeup, and it gives that glow and hydration. Let's move on. We have a new foundation. This is the Impeccable Blurring Second Skin Foundation from Anastasia Beverly Hills. They were kind enough to send this over to me. I was gonna buy it anyway because you guys know I love a good new base product. So we have a few new shades here. I think I'm gonna go with 2N. Let's swatch that first. Gorgeous packaging. I'm gonna apply one side with a sponge, one side with a brush. I'm gonna use my one size sponge. Oh wow, I can't believe we have a perfect shade match. Let's cover up this red pimple. There we go. It is matte. I can see the dry down, but I'm glad I used that Milk primer underneath because it did give me a very comfortable hydrated base. The foundation looks gorgeous. It definitely has that soft matte finish. Gave coverage. So it says it's a medium to full coverage, long wearing, water-based formula that blurs pores, fine lines, and wrinkles, powered by precision blur technology. This is a hydrating velvet matte foundation. So it says it's long wearing, it has a natural velvet matte finish, safe for sensitive skin. I'm gonna use BK Beauty 101 brush. Definitely matte. I feel like it actually looks more matte with a brush. Let's add a little bit more here. There we go. Yeah, you also get a little bit more coverage with a brush. And I think with the brush, it's going to appear a little bit heavier on the skin versus with the sponge, it's going to sheer it out a little bit. This sponge is really good from one size. I picked up this Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Contour. I really like the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. Let's start with applying the dots all over. BK Beauty 116. Oh, that's nice. I love that color. I'm so happy I picked that. I was gonna get this other shade. I think it was the color under this, and I think it would have been a little bit too light. This one is perfect. Very similar to the liquid blush, where it has a very nice blend to it. But, I mean, you saw the amount of dots that I put on my skin. I feel like with the contour, you could be a little bit more generous, and it's a bit more manageable versus with the blush. You know, when you do too much, it's a lot because it's so pigmented. I like the tone of it because it is a little bit more cool, but I don't find it to pull too gray on my skin. I think that actually looks really good. We're gonna sculpt the nose as well. I'm gonna try on the other side. You know, that blended out really nicely just applying it directly on my skin, so I'm gonna do it again. I was gonna apply it on the back of my hand, but I think it's actually blending beautifully. Okay, that I think I love. I think this is a nice product if you're specifically looking for a contour, so I'm liking it a lot actually. For concealer, I'm gonna just keep it classic with my House Labs concealer, which I love. I am gonna use a new powder, so I wanna just use something that I know wears beautifully throughout the day, and this one's in the shade 23. I was dying to put on some concealer. I need this. And this is a House Labs concealer brush. Then we're gonna do one final blend before we set everything with the One Size sponge. I'm just gonna do some light tapping to assure everything is nice and seamless. Note to self, you need to shave your face because it's been over a month and I can see all the peach fuzz. Now I have a new powder and I actually bought 2 shades so we can test the pink version and the regular version. So there's a few shades of this. It's from About Face, the Set and Smooth Loose Powder. The first color I got is in Beau. It's, by the way, the Curtain Call powder. And then the pink one is in Finale and it is a soft pink. So let's start with that. Oh, the packaging I love. I'm going to use a powder puff. This one is from Sonia Kashuk. And we're gonna dip in here and see what this looks like. I actually don't have any cream blush on. I don't have a new cream blush. So I'm gonna just, should I do blush? Do I wanna do cream blush or should I just do powder? Let's just do powder. That went on beautifully. About Face makes a really nice foundation as well. So I'm not really surprised that this is so good because I feel like their products are good. Love the touch of pink that this has. A little bit of brightness, but I don't find it to be as bright as a lot of pink powders. It's actually really pretty. It's more neutral, but it's really smooth. I don't have any pink blush on, so you don't have the full vision there, but I'm gonna add some powder blush. You could still do pink powder even if you don't have pink blush on, but typically when I do pink blush is when I do pink powder the most, but this still looks amazing. Then on the other side, I'm gonna go in with the other color again in Beau. They both look incredibly smooth, but what is this on this side? It looks completely transformed. It's somehow very smooth and airbrushed, but it's not a very heavy powder. Speaking of bows, if you are watching right now, comment pink bow emoji. We need more actually colored bows, but comment a pink bow emoji. What I like about the powder is the fact that it is a soft matte, very velvety smooth powder, but it doesn't look like a flat matte powder. So it doesn't look completely cakey, completely dry. There's actually still some life to the skin, even with the powder on. So I really like it. I'm actually going to use the shade Beau just to set my entire face because I love the way it looks on this side. This is an old brush from BH Cosmetics. RIP BH Cosmetics. Honestly, I miss that brand. It used to be one of my favorites. Also, I really like the little net that comes with this because then you can avoid using an excess amount of powder. It's a little bit less messy this way too. That's really pretty. I'll definitely continue using the pink powder, but I love the Beau shade more on my skin. So I just finished up the rest of my makeup. I did some brown eyeliner on the waterline. It's the Makeup by Mario Perfect Brown Liner. And then blush, Revie Beauty in the shade Paradise. It's been one of my favorites. It goes with everything. It's such a good neutral blush. And I didn't want to do anything too glowy because I want to see how this soft matte finish wears up. And now that I have all of my makeup complete, I feel like the foundation is slightly too light for me. I think 3N would be perfect. I know I do have other shades in here, but they look a little bit warm. I think 3N would be a perfect match because 2N, it has that undertone that works for my skin. I think it's just a little bit too light. I have a new setting spray. I'm going to do setting spray on one side and then not the other so that we can see how it wears in a couple hours. This is the Impeccable Setting Spray. Now it says lock in velvety matte smooth makeup for 24 hours and achieve a seamless natural shine-free finish. It's a hydrating, blurring, water-based formula that reduces the appearance of pores, fine lines, and wrinkles. It says it does have a custom molded ultrafine mist pump for an even, gentle spray. I remember Anastasia, I think they still have it, but their dewy setting spray, that used to be one of my favorites back in the day. Let's see the spray. Okay, that's nice. It has a nice, very pleasant, floral-ish kind of scent. Okay, let's do this side. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the brush side looks more flawless. Like even just looking at my mirror right here straight ahead, something about this side, it looks so much more uniform and seamless to me than this side. But I am noticing that the foundation is a little bit too light. Like my face looks ashy compared to my body. Let's let it dry. Definitely brought some of that hydration back into the skin. I'm going to continue to let this dry, see how the dry down is, and then again, just for comparison, this side is more matte. Now we're going to try out some of the Rhode Peptide lip shapes. These are a little controversial right now because apparently they're not long wearing. Okay, I think I'm going to start with the color Twist, and let's see. So it's supposed to contour your lips. So since it's not technically a lip liner, you don't have a very precise applicator with this. You can see it's a little bit chunkier and more rounded, the tip of it. And then on the other side, you have a little silicone spongy applicator. So I love this color already. I do feel like it is kind of like my perfect contour shade for my lips. So it does give that contoured effect to the lips. Is this going to be a super long wearing product? We're going to test it out, but I don't think it is based on what I'm seeing. And also it doesn't claim to be a long wearing product. And it does say it's a creamier and more seamless formula than a lip liner, really marketed as a contouring lip shaper. So it does do what it says. The longevity part, I think that's just something that we all hope and want in a lip product, but we don't always get, unfortunately. I think more so with our higher end lip products, we expect it to be long wearing. So I really like this color. It's described as a warm taupe, and it is just that. I really like it. I think it's nice too because it's not too warm. I agree with the claims. It is a hydrating formula. It really glides on. It's one of those products that's very personal preference. If you like a long wearing, matte, very precise, pointy little lip liner, you're not gonna like this, you know? I'm gonna try out another color in a lean. It definitely glides on. Also, like it has that very nice creamy texture. I think it would have been nice actually to have two different lip liners instead of the applicator. I see why they did it because you can smudge product out instead of using your finger and everything, but I think a little 2-in-1 would have been a little bit better. But I want to see if it fades, because if it does fade in 2 seconds, I mean, then is it really worthwhile? My favorite products from Rhode is the cream blushes, the barrier butter, and then the milky essence. Top 3 for sure. Now let's try out these new Makeup by Mario glosses. I have 6 shades here, but I believe there's more shades total. Let's pull it up. Okay, there's 11 shades total. I have 6 here. These retail for $26 each. That's pricey for a gloss. This is the super shiny lip gloss that quickly hydrates and smooths for a lasting comfort with a glass-like finish. Of course, we're going to start with the nude because that's going to be very flattering with this look. First color, Bear. It smells good. It has a light vanilla scent. This is the applicator, so you get pretty tiny applicator. I prefer a bigger doe foot because then you get so much product on there and then you don't have to constantly dunk back in here for more. But let's see. So that's a 1 swipe. You will have to keep adding in more because you don't get a lot of product on the applicator. I'm gonna just actually take this off. Let's just do it again so we can see the color, because sometimes it is kind of hard to see the true color with that lip liner underneath. First impression though, I wish the applicator was bigger. I don't really like this little dot applicator. I feel like you have to constantly dip back in. And here is Bear with no lip contour. Next color in Cocoa. I will say though, with the applicator, since it does have that really small rounded applicator, is it a heart? I think it kind of looks like a heart. You can be precise with the product. I guess it's just really a preference thing, to be honest. It's not bad. I just prefer something a little bit bigger, but you have to dip in, I would say twice, to get a nice even coating on your top and bottom lip. So these seem to be just a very sheer high shine gloss. Next color, Rustic Pink. You know what, I guess actually I'm changing my mind now, because in a way, when you have on, let's say, a lip combo already and you're adding a gloss over top, it is nice to have sometimes a more precise doe foot, because then you can kind of just concentrate the gloss a little bit more precisely. Perfect Pink is the next shade. So far, this one is one of my favorite colors in Perfect Pink. It's a very pretty pink. Based on the swatches that I have so far, I think if you did want to splurge on this formula, I would say maybe just get like 1 or 2 colors. You really don't need a bunch of them because they don't have a lot of colors, so pick your favorite. Then we have the shade Watermelon. Pretty! I love. Last color I have is in Dragon Fruit. I'm gonna come back in a few hours. I'll show you guys what the makeup looks like. Right now, I am liking it. I feel like there's a couple things that definitely stood out to me today. The contour from Rare Beauty, I love the undertone, the blendability, that was really nice. And the powder from About Face, I feel like those are my top 2 standout products. The foundation is gorgeous, but you can definitely get that soft matte, beautiful finish with a ton of different foundations. So it's not super revolutionary on my skin. Like I've seen this before, but I do like that undertone though. I think the 2N is nice. I just need maybe 3N would be perfect, but makeup is complete. Let's talk about these goodies. Starting off with the Watermelon Jelly Glow Primer from Milk. It's a nice product. It feels good, but I think you can definitely get this effect from so many other products that are more affordable, or if you did want to splurge on a Milk product, I think you could do better than this. We'll continue using it because it feels good. I don't want to completely rule it out yet, but first impressions, I'm not obsessing over it. I think the foundation is gorgeous because I do like the way that it looks. Even though it is a more makeup-y product, it looks like you're wearing makeup when you have it on. It still looks really good, very smooth. I like it more with a brush on this side versus with a sponge. So I'm curious to see how the spray is going to work on this side, because this side I didn't use any. So let's see if it really helps or makes a difference in the makeup. The setting spray is something that I'm gonna have to keep using to really know if it makes a difference in my routine, but it does feel pleasant. So far, so good. I really like the contour from Rare Beauty. I think this is so nice. It has that really nice undertone, so it's perfect for sculpting and contouring your face. Yeah, I really like it. I like the way it looks on my nose as well too, so that's a winner. The powder, gorgeous. I do like the pink one, but I think the shade Bow is gonna be my go-to. This looks so smooth. So here's the makeup after about 8 hours of wear. I think the foundation does wear really nicely, but I prefer it with a brush. I think it looks a little bit smoother. And then the side with the setting spray, I think just looks a little bit more hydrated and slightly more dewy versus the side without. So we're gonna try everything out again today, and I realized that in the Milk packaging on the other side there was another primer, so we're gonna try that one. So we tried the hydrating stick, which was the watermelon one. Now this is the cooling stick. Packaging, it looks like this. It has that jelly bouncy stick texture, and I'm gonna just put it on. I don't really have anything on my face actually, because at this point I did my skincare several hours ago, so I'm gonna just apply it all over. Supposed to feel like an ice stick, just very cooling, refreshing on the skin. These jellies do feel nice on the skin though, I will say. Like, it's very satisfying. I could truly apply this all day because it feels like a little massage with the jelly sticks. But I know that not everybody likes this kind of stuff, like the packaging, so I get it. It's definitely a personal preference kind of thing. I don't feel much cooling actually. It does feel hydrating, kind of similar to the one that we used a few days ago, but it doesn't really feel super cooling. More of a mild cooling sensation, but it does feel hydrating, and it goes on like the watermelon hydrating stick, which is nice. So it's a cool concept. Like I said, it does feel really nice. Like, I'll keep using it because it feels nice, but I can't say that it's going to be a new favorite. So we're going to try the ABH foundation again. This one is in the shade 2.5W. This is 2.5W. I think the shade is good as the undertone. That's just, it pulls a little bit too yellow. But for reference, 2.5W. Let's blend this in. And you know what? Even maybe, I wonder if mixing 2N and 2.5W today would give me like a better match. Let's take 2N and 2.5W. It does provide a really good amount of coverage. So I'm just gonna apply this everywhere. I like to rub it in with my fingers. kind of paint it on, and then I will blend it in with the brush. I think that's a little bit more closer to matching my body versus 2N, which does match my face, but I feel like it's a little bit too light for my body. But I think this combo, like the two shades, is perfect. I can see this being more of like a glam kind of foundation, like for days when I want a good amount of coverage. But if you're one of those people that likes breathable, lightweight, fresh, dewy kind of makeup, you're not gonna like this. I like the coverage of it too though. It is buildable. Let's go back in with that Rare Beauty contour. I love this color in Solace. This is one of my favorite products that I used in this video. I love the way this blends and the tone of it. House Labs concealer. I'm using all of the same products because I want to use that powder again from About Face, but I don't think I'm going to do any pink powder today because I want just the neutral powder. I'm not feeling pink today. I'm going to use an e.l.f. Putty bronzer brush. It's kind of the perfect size for the under eyes. It's a little bit bigger, but look how quickly I just blended that in. Because it has a bit of that angle. I love concealer brushes like this because they fit really nicely under here. Going back in with the About Face powder in the shade Bow to set. Somehow this powder also mattifies your skin, but in the most beautiful way where it doesn't look completely flat and dry or too powdery. Just using the same powder for my entire face because it looks so good. I feel like it doesn't really brighten a ton on the under eyes, but it just sets everything in a really pretty way. e.l.f. blush palette, of course. I'm gonna actually use some of the neutral tones today. I'm gonna use the setting spray on one side of my face again. Let's do a lip combo. I'm gonna use the Rhode Peptide Lip Shape in the shade Twist. I see what they were doing with the applicator. I can't say that it's my favorite, honestly. I'm still going to be using my finger when it comes to things like this, like regardless. I do really like this color. I like the concept of these. However, I think that they are overpriced for what they are, but they definitely do what they say. It contours your lips. I love how creamy this is. It does glide on because of that skincare in there, so I do appreciate that. I do personally wish it was a little bit more long wearing. I think that would make me justify the price a little bit more. Let's add some gloss over top. I think I'm going to do that pink gloss. This one was my favorite, the Super Shine Lip Gloss in Perfect Pink from Makeup by Mario. With these, you're gonna get a high shine sheer finish. So not a lot of color, but a lot of shine. No stickiness too, which is nice. And the applicator has grown on me. So this is what the makeup looked like earlier when I first applied it. Very smooth. I love the finish of it. And then this is what it looks like several hours after with no touch-ups. I did reapply my lip color, but in the clip here that I showed you, that was before I went in with tissue paper to blot because it was much needed. And by the way, I wanted to show you, I have this, it's actually toilet paper. This is about how much of the oil came off from my forehead. I don't think that's bad. I thought there was gonna be a lot more on the toilet paper. And I did do a little touch up with the paper and I added more of this About Face Curtain Call loose powder. Very lightly, I just dusted that around my pores and it is gorgeous. This powder is so smooth. This is my favorite product that I used out of the entire video. I think if you wanted to try a new product, this is a nice one to add to cart, maybe save it for later. The primers from Milk, I think these are nice. I more so like the way they feel on my skin, like applying the jellies, because it feels like a little massage, especially under makeup. I like that concept of it more so than the result from the primer. I don't really get much of a wow factor. It's hydrating, it does feel nice, but you can definitely get that with your skincare or with other primers that I'm sure you have a bunch in your collection. And when it comes to Milk makeup, personally, I have other favorites and things that I prefer that I think are just more splurge worthy than these. So I'll continue using them because they do feel nice. I have them, but I can't really see this being something that I'll repurchase if I run out of it in the future. The foundation is beautiful. I love the mixing shades today that I did 2.5W with 2N. I think 3N would be a perfect match, but I think for now I'm just going to keep mixing because I already have a bunch of foundations. I don't need another one, but formula, I actually like it a lot more today versus the first time that I tried it. I think it's laying better on my skin because I shaved my face a few days ago and it really helped. I had a bunch of peach fuzz, but to me this is a more glam foundation in my opinion because it has a bit heavier coverage, but it's pretty. It reminds me a little bit of the One Size Turn Up the Base foundation, which I do like that one, but I like the undertones to this foundation more because the ones from One Size sometimes can pull a little bit too yellow. The contour from Rare Beauty was another one of my favorite products. I love the way this blends. The undertone is fantastic. This is a winner. The setting spray, you guys will have to let me know if you think there's a difference. So this is no setting spray after the touch up. Okay. And then this is with the setting spray. Let me know if you see a difference because you guys have better eyes than I do. You see things I don't see, so let me know. So yeah, the setting spray, will continue to play with it. This is one of those things that I have to really use it to know, is this going to be a new high-end favorite? Because there's a lot of good high-end sprays and they really have to work for me to feel like, okay, I can recommend this expensive setting spray. You know, the One Size for me is my number one because it actually is hairspray for your face. That's still the tried and true. This one is pleasant. I like the mister. I like the way it smells, but I just don't know if it made a huge difference. Let me know. Now the lip products. Let me start off by saying that I really like the color Twist and Lean, and I like this formula, but I wish it was long wearing. And I get it. It's not supposed to be a lip liner. It's technically a lip shape. In my opinion, this is coming from somebody who does love Rhode. These are gimmicky. And I know it doesn't say that it's long lasting, but when it comes to something that is over $20, I just have a little bit higher expectations for it, especially with something like this, where I know technically it's not a lip liner, but you can shape your lips and contour them with a lip liner. Like, that's just the reality. You can smudge it out and give yourself that blurred, smudgy look with your finger, with the bottom of your lip liner. You can do that. So I get the concept of it, but I can't justify the price because this doesn't pop compared to my other lip liners that I love that are around the same price point. Some of them actually a little bit cheaper and that are more long wearing. I even have some drugstore lip liners that are transfer proof. For me, I think this would be worth it if it had some longevity to it. If there was maybe a transfer proof, smudge proof factor in there, or if it was like a little dual-ended product, then I can justify it a little bit more, because in my opinion it's a little bit overpriced for what it is. And then the glosses from Makeup by Mario, I like these. They're very high shine. They have a nice, very mild vanilla scent. I think if you wanted to splurge on these, I actually changed my mind. You don't need 2 shades. You need maybe just 1 shade, to be honest, because they're very sheer. So although they kind of pop here in the packaging, when you actually apply them, you don't get this vibrant color. It's definitely more of a high shine gloss versus a very pigmented gloss. And also with the Makeup by Mario glosses, they didn't last any longer than other glosses that I have in my collection. That's what I was kind of testing for this week, and I didn't really notice any type of longevity with them, which honestly, how long does a gloss really typically last? Like, that's the one thing where I don't really mind reapplying because it's a gloss. And I've seen this comment a lot, and I agree. Honestly, I guess it depends, but sometimes it's better if you want to splurge on complexion products, maybe eyeshadows, and then keep the lip products drugstore or something like that. Like, pick your categories when it comes to splurging. You don't have to splurge on everything, because I agree, some things are more worth it than others when it comes to splurging at Sephora, at Ulta, whatever. And glosses are a little bit like, there's a gray area with them because they don't last. This is my big sister recommendation to you. If you want to splurge on a lip product at Sephora, at Ulta, get yourself a good lip treatment. I love the one from Ole Henriksen. This is the Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment. I love these because some of them have tints, some of them have a glimmer finish, and some of them don't. They have a bunch of different scents. But when you get something like this, you can wear it on its own when you're wearing no makeup. You can add it over top of your lip combos. And you're just gonna get a little bit more bang for your buck, because also I find with the lip balms, you don't have to reapply these as much as a traditional lip gloss because it's a little bit thicker. It just feels better and more cushiony on the lips. So I think there's better options out there when it comes to splurging on lippies. That is everything for these products. I will continue using these and I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you all for your support, and make sure to subscribe for new videos every week, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Also, let me know if you have tried any of these, if you did. All right, bye.